back to another Anime Kingdom manga review. See by the title below, yes, this is on chapter 545 of Fairy Tail, which is, of course, the final chapter. It pretty much went, honestly, exactly how I thought it was going to be, minus the part where none of the ships sailed. I thought this chapter was going to be pretty much like how Naruto ended and everything as well, and pretty much have, all the characters, all the ships that everyone wanted, they would finally be established and everything. We'd finally maybe see a time skip and see them with their kids, or see just them together at least, and actually, none of that happened. Mashima decided to the very end to have none of the relationships, go off at all. Sure, there were hints, there were teases here and there. There's a possibility, obviously, of Gajio and Levi having a baby. There was the whole thing with Gray saying that Juvia's body is his. So yes, you can kind of assume, at least for the fact that those ships have sailed. It's not a for sure thing, but it's kind of pretty much is. You also saw a couple others like Ever with Elf. They even had Laxus pretty much with his, his harem practically. The fact that there's rumors going along, around that maybe he's with Mita. There's rumors going around that he's with Lisana. There's rumors going around that he's with Kana. So, good for Laxus. He's a pretty damn badass character, and he deserves a harem for sure, honestly. But pretty much a lot of the ships that everyone wanted ended up not being established really. They had hints of it, like I said before, but it didn't really happen, especially considering the fact that I know a lot of people, when I looked in the forums, were kind of pissed at that. But the huge fact, of course, one of the biggest shippings is, of course, Nalu and Natsu and Lucy. Natsu pretty much friend zones her in this chapter. It was actually wow. I was honestly surprised at that fact. It looked for a moment like they were gonna kiss, but nope, no kiss at all. No even hint of them maybe wanting to be together. Sure, he says that we're always gonna be together kind of thing forever, but it doesn't really hint at the way that they'll be together in a romantic kind of way. So in the very end, all those Nalu fans, they've been waiting for this kind of chapter, and in the end, Mashima decides to literally just troll everyone once again and decide, nope, none of the shippings are going to be really established. Not even going to be at least a single kiss. Sure, there's hints of a baby. Sure, there's, like I said before, Gray saying that, Juvia's body is his. But other than that, it's not really shown anything for those shippers. So honestly, I feel so sorry for the shippers. I'm not a huge shipper when it comes to Fairy Tail. There are a couple ships that I did want, and honestly, I did kind of want to see, finally Natsu end up with Lucy. It's kind of the thing that's been shown since, a possibility since the very beginning. I know some people wanted Natsu and Lisana. That could have been a thing as well, but instead they had Natsu stay true to himself to the very end, honestly, and there was no romance for that whatsoever, which honestly, it's honestly pretty disappointing. I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of sad at that point that this chapter I kind of wanted to see these shipping sail. It's, sure, we still got a happy ending, it got pretty much, Fairy Tail ended the way it began. It ended all about, Nakama, ended all about friendship and everything. The whole thing with Fairy Tail and it's how its name came about, the whole riddle behind its name, about it being an eternal adventure, and pretty much that's how it ends, with them going on 100-year quest. But in a way, it's kind of a cop-out in my opinion as well. It kind of felt like Mashima was too scared to put any of the shippings together, and it didn't even really give us an ending. It kind of gave us an open ending that the story is going to continue as you see them going on this 100-year quest, but it's pretty much just the end of the story that we will of course be seeing. There was even the whole thing with there was some weird ass thing with Mavis and Zeref not being they were reincarnated or something. I'm not too sure if there were ghosts being shown there or they really were reincarnated. It seems like that's how it was because they had different names, but it felt so weird and wow, it looks like Mashima till the very end cannot kill these certain characters, and to the very end they had Makarov somehow survive, and in the end even Zeref and Mavis somehow are reincarnated to New World. Sure, I like that it they end up being together and all that kind of stuff. It's nice, it's cute. I love the Mavis Zeref story and everything, but it just felt like, wow, okay, so there's no really big reason behind it too. No explanation on how they even get reincarnated, or even to the point where if they did get reincarnated, why is there like all of a sudden, you know, they're this age already, they look like this already? Wouldn't it have been like, you know, kids and everything? It's only been a time, you know, a 1 year time skip and everything. So I don't know, that part, it just felt like, you know, Mashima was like, no, I want to have them in this too as well. And in the end, it just makes us like solidify that Mashima doesn't want to kill a single character. Honestly, like he went ahead and killed pretty much all of the other villains and in this last arc, and made them die pretty much in stupid ways, one shots, and like completely just destroyed the development of all those characters. But in the end, he still wants Zeref to be with Mavis, and I understand that in a way. I did want them to be together, and it is cute at least. I just feel like it's out of nowhere, honestly, and just like I said, it kind of just shows that Mashima really doesn't want to kill these certain characters in the end. Like, seriously, in the end, no one in Fairy Tail ended up dying. It's just like, wow, okay. Even, like, Anna was still in this chapter, so it's like, okay, so she's still gonna live off in this new time and everything. And that's another thing that it did kind of show a hint of Nalu, with the fact that, you know, Natsu, he's like, oh, no wonder he feels so calm around Lucy's because of her smell, just like Anna and everything. And the fact that he did have a crush on Anna as well, which contributes to the fact that he probably does have a crush on Lucy at, you know, the same, right? But that is pretty much all we're gonna get for that. I don't know why I continue to bring that back up, since I said already that the shippings, that's just, we're just gonna have to deal with it. I'm sorry, all you shippers out there. I know that this was supposed to be, you know, your dream. This is supposed to be the moment at least that finally all your ships have sailed, but instead Mashima decided to just throw that in the trash can and say, sorry, none of them are final yet. Sure, there's hints here and there, but that's about it. So really does suck, honestly, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, let me end this review with pretty much talking about my rating on what I felt that this entire series honestly deserves. And even with this entire arc, this last arc being that bad, and even the ending not giving us like a lot of what we wanted with the shippings and everything, I still will give this a 7 or 7.5 out of 10. There's so many people that I've seen in the forums drop it so damn low, and it's just because of this arc. And sure, I understand this arc was that bad. It was really, honestly, just, I wish it would have ended before this arc, and then of course it wouldn't have felt as bad. But to this point, I will still say that after, like, it's been 11 years of this, you know, series being up. I've started watching the anime back in like 2011, and after the anime ended, of course, started reading the manga and everything. And even if, I don't care what other people say, I don't care if they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you love Fairy Tail, but Fairy Tail has been a huge part of my life since I started watching it and reading the manga. Sure, this last arc was definitely not what I wanted. I wish it would have ended better. I wish this whole arc, we could just redo it some way. And I saw a lot of people in the forums that, like, saying like maybe they can, you know, actually change it up in the anime and not have it end this way and not have this last arc be like this. But as much as I want that, and that is so weird to think that you don't want an anime to adapt it how the manga is and everything, I don't think it's going to happen. It's not like they can completely change a whole arc. Maybe they can change it a little bit better, and that's a hope and everything. That's another thing. I'm still excited to see the anime, to see everything up to this last arc. I know a lot of people just don't want to see it all, and I do feel like I do understand that and everything, but still, Fairy Tail has been a huge part of my life, and in the end, I'm still going to give it like a 7, 7.5 out of 10, because I still enjoyed the ride here. It's still an amazing ride. The ride, of course, flew off the rails at the very end, but of course, the ending gave us some closure at least, and I'll definitely remember Fairy Tail for the rest of my life. So, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this Anime Kingdom manga review. That's pretty much all I got to say about it. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. If there's anything I missed and you want to talk about, comment below as well. And if you did enjoy, don't forget to like. If you haven't already, feel free to subscribe for more content. And as always, guys, I want to hear your guys' thoughts. How did you feel about this chapter? Were you disappointed by none of the shippings being showed? Were you disappointed for other reasons? Did you like it? Are you okay with this ending? Feel free to comment below any of your thoughts on that. And also, I want to hear your thoughts on how you felt about the entire series overall. Do you agree with my rating? Do you not agree with it? Feel free to comment below, good, bad, whatever you guys want to say. And if you just want to talk about how you felt, like how much of a ride it's been, how you feel about Fairy Tail overall, feel free to comment below, because I want to hear, your guys' story. What do you guys think of this entire series overall, even with the last arc and ending not being what we all wanted? But yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say, guys. Hope you enjoyed this Anime Kingdom review, and until next time, guys, see ya.